9 minutes before 11 o'clock. I heard that yesterday, was it yesterday? That somewhere in the Soho district of New York, they were selling these self-tying shoes, like the Back to the Future shoelaces.
Oh, yeah.
Self-tying. And did you know you have to use your smartphone to tie your shoes?
Is that right? There's an app for that?
It's like $700 pair of shoes, and you got to use your smartphone to tie your shoes, or something like that.
I hope the app is free.
Yeah. The shoes are $700.
And there was another candle I saw for $20 or something like that, and you can also control the color with your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I know. It's electric candle. So now we're going to learn about more high-tech things. Joseph Coughlin and Jody Olszewski have been with us before. They're on the phone with us again. Joseph Coughlin is the director of the Age Lab at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Oh, this is for us old folks who don't know how to use smartphones, right?
Exactly.
And then Jody Olszewski is the executive director of the Hartford Center for Mature Market Excellence.
We won't tell them we have a track phone.
Yeah, don't tell him we have a track phone. Don't tell him we're 61 either. Don't tell him that. Although Adam's not. Adam's like 20 or something.
Yeah,
right?
Adam's hip. He's in touch with everything.
Joseph and Jody, good morning to both of you. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks.
Where are you calling? Are you together? Where are you?
We are. We're in Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, in Hartford, Connecticut. How is the temperature today? Nice up there, right?
You have to rub it in, don't you?
Oh, I guess it's not so nice. Okay. So are we talking about the interactive home tips regarding some new stuff?
Well, we're talking about the top technologies for the smart home. We recently did a study here at the Hartford with MIT Age Lab to identify, what are the technologies that homeowners over the age of 50 should be thinking about. And so we convened an expert panel, and they identified that top 10 list. And here are the top 5 for you. They started with smart smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, followed by wireless doorbell cameras, keyless entry.
What was the third one?
Keyless entry.
Okay.
Automatic lighting.
Okay.
And smart water shutoff valves. And we think that this top 10 list really are the technologies that can be beneficial for homeowners. They really can make life easier. They can help with home maintenance and enhance safety and security.
I like the doorbell one, but why do I need the smart shutoff valve? Why do I need that?
For the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you think about if a pipe breaks or if you are up further north and the pipes freeze or something like that, it shuts it off before it does lots of damage to your house, not to mention the water.
Oh, it shuts off at that end. I thought you meant like at the sink it shuts it off.
Yeah, no, this is actually the water pipe itself. So obviously it can help to prevent a lot of costly repairs. And if you're away from home when it happens, right, that's not something you want to go home to. So It helps alert you and stops it. And then obviously you can get the assistance you need.
Oh, wow. So it's underground somewhere or just at the entrance of the house?
It's usually at the entrance of the house where the water comes in.
Well, and now I do like that idea.
That's huge, considering all the snowbirds that come down and then the houses that they leave.
Right.
I think my grandparents the same. Have to shut off all the water, make sure the neighbors check that no pipes burst and all that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, now you can do it with your smartphone.
I like the carbon monoxide detector because a lot of people will have kerosene heaters instead of electric heat.
If you live in Hartford, you do. Down here, you don't.
No. Shannon had one down here because she had no heat in her house, and she had kerosene heater.
We do have cold days down here, but we have that's why we have dogs. That's why we own dogs, just to get. All right. So the one thing that I guess fascinates us all, and I don't know that I quite understand it. Maybe that's why you're here, because we're old. Is when we can check our door, like who's at the door on our phone, even if we're in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Is that going to fool anybody?
Right.
I mean, if I'm standing with a hula girl behind me, they go, I'm in the bathroom.
He's in a green screen. He's not really gone.
Well, some of these, they can't see you, you can see them, but I guess one of the things that's really neat about these technologies is that they're not just promising some cool factor and being convenient, but they're also allowing you to maybe check in on who's knocking on the door of your mom's house where she lives by herself, down the street or a country away at 85 years old. So it's kind of a way of extending your hand as a caregiver as much as it is about convenience of your own home.
Oh, really?
And you won't have to tell her. That way she won't feel inadequate.
You better not tell her. You better not. Who's that man that came to your door? Oh, he's the milkman. I told you about the milkman 20 years ago.
You can call him Dad.
That's a funnier answer. All right, so do you guys do you want to direct us to like a website or something that'll help us out with this? Hartford is an insurance company, right?
Yes, we are.
So does this help with insurance costs? Like, does the insurance company, like homeowners insurance, is it adjusted if you have like a smoke detector? Obviously, that should help, right?
Yeah, it depends. Every insurance company is a little bit different. We're certainly exploring this and exploring opportunities related to that issue. I think the center that I lead is really focused on conducting research to enhance quality of life for people as they age. And so this study really is about helping to promote what we think are the smart home technologies. But one of the benefits, of course, just like we talked about with the smart water shutoff valves, is it can help to prevent costly repairs.
Yes.
So obviously there's a connection there. But our website is thehartford.com/smarthome. You'll find the list of the top technologies there, as well as a pretty cool interactive digital smart home that allows you to see these technologies in motion. So if you don't know much about them, if you want to see how that smart water shutoff valve works, you can take a look, and there'll be a little demo right there.
Thehartford.com/smarthome. Have you guys seen the self-installing Christmas lights? It's like a little wheel that climbs up the side of the house and puts the lights on for you. Have you seen this thing?
No, but I could have used it this weekend.
I mean, it's just, the world is amazing. The different things that are out there now. Yeah.
Does it cost you anything for the app for your phone? And do you have to have a specific phone, or will the app work on all phones?
On our phone.
You mean for these technologies?
Yes.
I think that they vary. Most all of them work with the smartphone. I think that's like for the carbon monoxide detector, that's what makes it different, is that it'll notify you. But part of why we put this list together is just so consumers can be informed on what they are, and then you have to be a savvy consumer when you're out there looking at the various options and deciding which ones to purchase.
Do you personally have a favorite on the top 10 for yourself?
No, I'm a big fan of, for myself, the automatic lighting, either because I'm too lazy to go downstairs and turn the lights off after the kids refuse to do it themselves, or frankly, it's just kind of cool talking to my robotic assistant to shut the lights off.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Me, I think the keyless entry to me is something that's been just terrific. Just makes life a lot easier.
How does it know it's you?
Well, you have to have either the smartphone or the code.
oh, the phone is the key. Okay. I was a little confused with that one. Yeah. They say these robots are going to start to have attitudes. Can you imagine you tell it to turn off the lights? No.
That's right.
No, you do it. All right. Well, you guys have a great holiday. I love talking to you guys. You always have a lot of energy. Jody Olszewski and Joseph Coughlin, thank you guys. Come back anytime.
Thanks for having us.
Bye-bye.
All right. We will be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President-elect Trump names Georgia Congressman Dr. Tom Price his choice for Health and Human Services Secretary.
Meanwhile, the president-elect tweeting, "No one should be allowed to burn the American flag. If they do, there must be consequences, perhaps loss of citizenship or a year in jail." The Supreme Court deemed flag burning protected free speech.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. Investigators are looking into why an Ohio State student drove into pedestrians, got out, and stabbed people with a butcher knife.
They have already found a Facebook post that they believe he made a few minutes before his attack. One law enforcement source described it as a declaration against unfair treatment of Muslims and said it appeared to condemn U.S. military action in Muslim countries.
Fox's Garrett Tenney, a police officer, shot and killed Abdul Razak Eliar 10 of the 11 people hurt. 4 are still hospitalized. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Geico presents a voicemail from your friend, Electricity. Hey, it's me, Electricity. So I'll keep this short. Get it? Never mind. Anyway, I just want to make sure you're not, still mad at me about that electrical fire in your kitchen. I mean, obviously you're not, but I'm just checking to make sure. It's no big deal if you are. It's not like you're asking me to pay for the damage. Right?
Electricity won't pay for an electrical fire. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency makes getting coverage a snap. Visit geico.com to see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
An important message from Medicare.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
I found a new plan with lower costs.
It's Medicare Open Enrollment. Have you compared plans yet? Who knows what you might find?
Check out your options at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
You never know unless you go.
Medicare Open Enrollment, October 15th through December 7th. Brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services.
It's time for Farm and Range headlines of the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. During the presidential debates and the elections, NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, was a big discussion. There is a discussion about eliminating that trade agreement in the future. But Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. have really integrated agricultural markets. Currently, U.S. exports to Mexico and Canada account for around 30% of the total U.S. agricultural exports. Finally, the U.S. exported 3.7 million tons of milk products to Mexico in 2015, then Mexico being by far the biggest export destination for the U.S. Mexican corn imports account for 23% of the total U.S. corn exports and are an important part of the animal feeding supply chain. Many other sectors are integrated the same way. Changes to agreements with NAFTA would have significant implications both for Mexico animal feeders and Mexican consumers and U.S. farm and profit margins. Mexico has become the third largest buyer of peanuts from the U.S., and that is important for peanut farmers, which have been exporting to Canada and Mexico as they make a lot of peanut butter. So the NAFTA agreement will be in the news in the future, but hopefully they can keep that market moving and keep that trade agreement in the positive.
Kubota's new M7 series helps you get the most success out of every acre. With 170 horsepower, unprecedented comfort, and premium performance features. Right now, a Kubota M7 can be yours with 0% financing for up to 84 months and a generous competitive trade-in bonus. The M7 is Kubota's smartest and largest tractor ever. Add one to your year-end checklist. Call toll-free 1-800-794-4992 for details about cost and terms. Power and other specifications are based on various standards or recommended practices.
For even more agricultural news, be sure to go to our website, southeastagnet.com. I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
Buying and selling? Then you know about OcalaForSale.com, Marion County's internet marketplace. But there's something you might not know. I'm Michael Warren, president of USA for Sale. We created Ocala for Sale in 1998 with a passion to connect buyers and sellers and to help local businesses reach shoppers online. On Ocala for Sale, you're just a click away from thousands of deals for real estate, rentals, cars, furniture, appliances, horses, pets, and more. Looking for a job? Our Help Wanted section is booming. Shopping the villages and beyond? Now you'll find great deals on villages for sale, as well as our new statewide classified, Florida for Sale. Log on today and post your free classified. You'll reach thousands of shoppers who check our listings every day. Are you a business looking to get a corner on the internet marketplace? USA for Sale can help you reach your target audience in Ocala, the villages, and statewide. There's no better place to reach shoppers than right where they shop. Let us show you how. Learn more by calling 352-629-1663 or visit us online at usaforsale.com.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Beautiful day. I'm a pretty happy guy, you know? But I'm going to be honest with you. You know, it was like the day before Thanksgiving. You know, I hadn't heard from my son. I didn't know what I was doing for Thanksgiving. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. Was I, Robin? Was I feeling sorry for myself?
No.
But I was just a little bummed out. I was thinking, oh, well, I'll get through it. You know, let the kids have their family. My son is 30 years old, so it's like, okay, well, I'll hear from somebody. Or it doesning matter. You know, everything was fine. Then when he called me, oh, my God, it made my day. I mean, I spent maybe an hour and a half with him on Thanksgiving Day. We went to Cracker Barrel. And it made my day. It doesn't take much to make my day. So if I ever say that I understand what depression is, I'm lying to myself because I don't really understand it. The folks I've known who truly had clinical depression it was way different than anything I think I've ever experienced, and that's a blessing I think that I should be thankful for. Dr. Don Mordecai is on the phone. He's a psychiatrist, and he's the Kaiser Permanente National Leader for Mental Health and Wellness. Is that supposed to say Permanente?
Yes, it is. That is not a typo on my part.
And
I do that sometimes, but not today.
He's also the adjunct clinical associate professor of psychiatry at Stanford University Medical School. And he's talking about a public health awareness campaign called Find Your Words, encouraging people to help reduce the stigma around depression and engage in conversations about mental health issues. Wow, this is a big one. And there's only a short time to talk about it. Dr. Mordecai, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, good morning to all of you. I'm well. Sounds like you're feeling okay too.
I do pretty good. I don't really get like if I say I'm depressed, forget it. I just have to watch a video about dogs chasing their own tails, and I'm going to get out of it. But I know you know many people because you work with them who it's not as simple as that, and you can't just brush it away, right?
Yeah, I do, and these are serious conditions that a lot of people struggle with. And by some estimates, about 16 million people in the United States will have a major depression in any given year. So it's real common. We all know people who struggle with this. We may not know that they struggle with it. And that's part of what we wanted to get out with our campaign is, to have people be willing to talk about it and be okay with that, and to have the rest of us, maybe we're lucky enough, as you were saying about yourself, to not struggle with these conditions. I'll also be okay with hearing about it and helping people know that these are treatable conditions and that there's hope.
And maybe it would have helped. And just to use a celebrity because it's somebody we all know, when Robin Williams committed suicide, it all hit us really hard because we never thought that about him. We never thought he was a depressed person. Now, maybe a psychiatrist, maybe you picked up on that. Did you? And could the rest of us have picked up on it if that personality was in our family?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you really followed Robin Williams' career, you would have known about his struggles with substance abuse. Okay. That I think eventually it came out that he had struggled with bipolar disorder, but he lived in a space where it wasn't okay for him to come out and talk about that. And I think about him often. I've been watching recently some movies with him with my sons, and it's just so sad that he felt like it wasn't okay to reach out. He would have been an incredible spokesperson for these issues to say, hey, get out there, talk about it. Don't be ashamed of it. There's hope.
And for the person who recognizes that person in their own family before it's too late, I mean, it sounds like the conversation you're talking about right now, Find Your Words, the campaign you're talking about right now, Find Your Words, is the way to start a conversation that might save their lives, literally.
Yeah, it could literally. I mean, the good news is the vast majority of people dealing with mental health conditions are not going to take their own lives, but some do, and some of them could be helped tremendously, I think, if loved ones start to recognize what's going on and reach out in a compassionate way and say, I'm here, I want to help, you can talk to me, I won't judge you, let's see if we can get you some help. So the campaign, we have a public service ad that people may have seen with an African-American boy walking through a neighborhood, and he's speaking the words of a hip-hop song, popular song, where he's basically saying, I'm struggling with depression, but I can overcome that. So we felt like that was pretty inspiring. Pointed to the fact that a lot of adolescents deal with these issues in unrecognized ways, but we really want everybody to feel like it's okay to talk about these conditions just the way we talk about diabetes or hypertension, or you have a broken arm, you go get it fixed. So
if more people spoke about it, would that really get rid of all the medications that sometimes people with depression have to take?
Well, I don't know if it would get rid of the medications, but I think it would get people thinking differently about these illnesses, right? Nowadays, people feel like they have to struggle with it alone. we were talking about Robin Williams, and that it's not okay to seek help. And sometimes that help is medications, but sometimes it's therapy. Sometimes it's, for some people, a regular exercise routine keeps them from falling back into depression. So there's lots of ways to get at this, but you got to start by being okay talking about it.
Yeah.
So how can you help the person that seems to have a depression, but they love people feeling sorry for them, so they don't really want to get well because they love all the attention? How do you help them?
Boy, that's a tough sort of situation. I'd say most of the time that's probably not what you're dealing with, but I think you can say, hey, I think there's a way for you to feel better than this. I know that you've lived your life in a certain way for a long time, but it could be a lot more for you there if you try an approach. Like I said, I think that's less common than what you find is people who just suffer silently, which is a real tragedy. I did want to say at the website that we created, findyourwords.org, there's links to some really great resources. So the National Alliance for Mental Illness partnered with on this, Mental Health America, the Crisis Text Line, and the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So these are all nationally available resources that, if people aren't quite ready to talk to their doctor or even maybe a friend, go check out our website, check out organizations. They're really great resources.
Does it help the person who is not the one suffering from depression? Because if I know somebody who's depressed, my natural approach is probably something you would raise your eyebrows over. I'm going to be jovial, and I'm going to say, come on, snap out of it. Let's go have some fun. Yeah. And that might not work, right? That might actually be contradictory to what...
And how do you get that started?
Yeah.
That conversation started.
I think it depends on the person. Somebody, one of your friends who's depressed, might really welcome that about you, and if you know that, I'd say go with it. But somebody else might appreciate a different approach, which maybe isn't quite so jovial and snap out of it, but more like, hey, usually I'm joking around, but I want to talk to you about something a little more serious. It seems like you're not doing that well.
Right.
If there's something I could do, I'd be happy to take you out for a walk, or I'll learn about this more with you, or and so to see if you can find what what they would appreciate.
What does Find Your Words actually mean? Where does the name of the campaign come from?
We came up with it ourselves. We felt like it pointed at this idea of people not wanting to talk about it, not feeling okay talking about it, and that if they could find their words around it, whether you're a loved one trying to talk to somebody or you're somebody who's actually suffering in silence, both ways work for us to come forward and talk up about it.
Your comment that Robin Williams would have been a good spokesperson makes me wonder if there is somebody we could perhaps pull out of celebritydom that could... Is that a word, celebritydom? Celebritydom? Whatever. So, a celebrity who could... I mean, they'd have to, first of all, be honest and say, I do suffer from the same thing, and okay, I'll take on that job. That would be a cool thing to do.
I think a lot of comedians themselves have some sideways concept of masking a lower point in situations in their life with comedy and stuff like that. So I imagine there's probably a slew of celebrities on that route.
Probably, yeah. We have to recruit one of them. The website is findyourwords.org. I went to the website, and I couldn't listen to it because we're on the air, but I'm looking forward to listening to the PSA that I just saw play on the visual there. Dr. Don Mordick, any other information that you can give us, that either a book or is that the best website to go to right now?
Yeah, just wanted to share that as a great starting place for people. And to have hope and understand that these are treatable conditions and that they can feel better.
Does the holidays make it worse?
It can. It can for people. Some people are sensitive to the shorter days.
That's it. The shorter days. Okay. Has nothing to do with money.
Well, then you add in buying gifts and prepping for family, and and it can be too much. So I got to run. But Great talking with you all.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate the call. All right, we will take a break. Be right back.
Gene Powell, Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie would like to thank you for another successful year of business. We want to wish everybody a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2017. We are ready to be of service with our pasture mowing. 352-629-2440. Locally owned and operated. Experienced and reliable. Commercial and residential. Licensed and insured. Powell Gene, Gene, @yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell, Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Proud United States veteran.
'Tis the season to be giving.
And at WOCA The Source, we have teamed up with Florida Kids Helping Kids
To make sure homeless children in Marion County have a good Christmas.
And you can help.
Yes, WOCA at the Paddock Mall is a drop-off site. Bring new or gently used dolls, skateboards, jewelry sets,
Footballs, basketballs, musical instruments,
and anything else a child would like.
Share your things.
Children will be able to choose a gift for another child.
And Florida Kids Helping Kids will wrap the gift.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays from all of us here at WOCA The Source.
When you go into Automax, Marion County's #1 pre-owned dealer for over 15 years, you won't take the new car depreciation because Automax saves you thousands on late model vehicles. Browse the inventory online at automaxocala.com. Then come down to see the great vehicles and upfront pricing in person. Compare up to 60 models inside the climate control showroom. So take your time. No high pressure, no gimmicks, no games. On the corner of 17th and Easy Street. Automax. Quality cars, outlet prices. WOCA is teaming up with Florida Kids Helping Kids to bring a little Christmas joy to the many homeless children in Marion County. WOCA is proud to offer our location as a drop-off point for your new and usable toys at the WOCA studios here in the Paddock Mall. Mornings, Monday through Friday till December 16th, when Florida Kids Helping Kids will come by to pick up the toys to give to the children. Florida Kids Helping Kids and WOCA, making Christmas a little brighter.
Merry Christmas!
How to care for a Christmas cactus. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Kubota's new M7 series helps you get the most success out of every acre with 170 horsepower, unprecedented comfort, and premium performance features. Right now, a Kubota M7 can be yours with 0% finance for up to 84 months and a generous competitive trade-in bonus. The M7 is Kubota's smartest and largest tractor ever. Add one to your year-end checklist. Call toll-free 1-800-794-4992 for details about cost and terms. Power and other specifications are based on various standards or recommended practices.
The USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service has a program to reward and encourage environmental stewardship for ag and forestry producers. The Conservation Stewardship Program, or CSP, is voluntary. Applicants must be USDA operators. CSP participants will adopt new conservation practices and manage existing ones. For more information on CSP, visit nrcs.usa.gov or call NRCS. Helping people help the land.
If you own or recently inherited a Christmas cactus from a parent or family member, you may be wondering the best ways to care for them.
It is by far the plant I hear the most common when people call and they'll say, I have this Christmas cactus that my grandmother had. People have them for generations, which I don't always hear that, and I certainly don't hear it about poinsettias.
Sandra Mason of University of Illinois Extension adds most calls focus on questions about proper care in order to avoid the tag of being the generation that killed off the family Christmas cactus. Holiday cacti are relatively easy to care for. Tips include not to overwater, allowing for dry out in between waterings to avoid stem and root rot. Holiday cacti can be outdoors in the summer in shade, but should be brought indoors when the temperature only reaches about 50 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. And most importantly,
like poinsettias, they do need a long night, short day to get them into flower.
I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 20 minutes after 11 o'clock. The day is flying by. Beautiful day. It looks like the temperatures today are going to reach 85 if they haven't already. Same tomorrow. Can't complain about the weather at all, right?
Nope.
Oh, no.
But does it feel like the holidays when it stays hot? I don't know. I like it when it's a little bit cool.
Yeah.
Last year about this time, Kim Commander, who I love, by the way, does a radio show, and she's our go-to guru when it comes to technological stuff. But she made a prediction, and I think she was right, even though it looks like she was wrong. The prediction was that by Thanksgiving of 2016, which just passed, we would see drones delivering packages in America. Okay. But the FAA, which you're very familiar with, Adam.
Yeah, I'm actually a drone certified pilot myself.
Oh, are you really?
Really? That's cool.
So they put the kind of a couple of rules in place that made it impossible. And what's that got to do with our next guest? Not a whole lot, except that if you were ordering stuff and you were going to have it delivered, probably it's going to be delivered by UPS in the traditional way, and there's not going to be a drone. Are they using drones in England? I heard they were.
They're trying to, and I think their regulations are more broad and everything else. They're trying real hard. Like the FAA made rules this year to compensate to figure out a way to make this all work, but.
Yeah, and Disney, I think, is leading the pack there because they want to fly him a lot. All right, Tony Zito is on the phone. Tony is a business analyst and the CEO of Rakuten Marketing. Hope I said that right. Going to give us a recap of the last few days. Today's, by the way, Give It Away Tuesday or something like that. So you spent your money, now you want to give it away. Good morning,
Giving
Tony.
Tuesday.
What is it?
Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tony. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah today.
In Utah, all right.
So it's not 85 degrees here. No.
What's the temperature?
It's not 85.
What is it? What is it?
Sure. I think high today probably about 25 degrees. Been snowing for a couple of days.
Holy
Yeah, it makes it feel like the holidays there.
That feels like see, the grass is always greener. Do you want to be here? Because we want to be there. Do you want to be here?
Well, I'll trade you for a week. Yeah.
I think that's the same way we feel. How about 1 week? We'll do it for 1 week.
Yeah, I think so.
So, are you able to tell us already this quick? It's only Tuesday. How the trends were this past few days?
Well, we certainly learned a lot through the cyber weekend about consumer behavior. There's a couple things that really stand out in terms of the usage of mobile devices, and there's been a lot of innovation around reducing the friction of the consumer when they want to buy on their mobile device. So with one-click payment, things like that have really accelerated mobile purchasing, and we saw that over the course of the weekend, and expect that to continue.
But I'm always afraid I'm going to click something, and they have those little boxes that you sometimes have to uncheck in order to not buy an additional thing, and you don't see it right away.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts? Yeah.
Well, I think retailers are really focused on making the experience better. So that's not a practice that we would recommend, because I think what you want to create is an environment where the consumer feels loyal to your brand and feels like they're going to have a positive experience. So. And with respect to your drone comments earlier, Rakuten is not a very common name in the U.S., but Rakuten is the largest e-commerce company in Japan, and Japan is one of the markets where they are aggressively testing.
Oh, really? So did we drop the ball in this country in that regard? I mean, did we miss the boat? We should be doing this.
Well, I think we should have more innovation here in that respect, because we did make it really hard for companies to explore and work some of those, tweak the models and get it to work. But some of the challenges they have around safety are real legitimate concerns. But in Japan, of course, they are pursuing it wholeheartly, and it's going to revolutionize delivery there.
So, not only are people buying things on their phones, but sometimes, like in my son's case, my son, I got him a video game, and in the old days there was a disc or something, and he just got it on his phone. I mean, there wasn't even a tangible physical thing. Just zip, he bought it. There it was. He had a code, and zip, it went to his phone. Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, and very, very much the case. But there are still a lot of products that consumers want to touch, that they still want to try on clothes. There's still obviously a need for brick and mortar, still a need for physical products. But the digital ecosystem is booming, and I suspect that, based on the numbers we saw for like the PlayStation 4, which is has some strength in VR capabilities, I think we're going to continue to see things like virtual reality become a bigger influence in consumer behavior in the country.
Really?
Some people, when they buy things, they always get gift receipts, and that's why they go to brick and mortar stores. Is it easy for someone to return something online and get a cash refund, or is it always a credit if you buy from Amazon or things like that?
And it's a lot harder for a consumer to return a gift that they didn't buy themselves, online than it is to walk into a store and deliver it,
Really? How do you return something? If it's virtual, how do you return something if it's virtual? If
ship it back, I guess.
Really? How do they know you didn't copy? I guess they'd have to trust you, huh? Do you know?
Well, if it's a licensing on digital has come a long way. So there's a lot of ways for companies to control digital in the digital environment. So it's not as nearly as big an issue in digital, but the virtual shopping experience, the virtual connection, that really is going to change the way we shop, because you'd be able to do things with that I think historically we've considered, fitting and things like high-end luxury goods, makeup. Those are things that typically you want to go in and do in person, right?
See it for yourself,
with virtual reality, some of that stuff is making its way already onto phones and allowing people to have that shopping experience virtually. That will really have an impact on shopping going forward.
Were the numbers higher on Black Friday than they were on Cyber Monday?
They were, the increase in Black Friday was 41%. Increase on Cyber Monday was 36%. So it grew fast, but the Cyber Monday was still the largest day in terms of total spend.
Oh, really?
For consumers. And Thanksgiving is also becoming an important and meaningful day in this cyber week.
Yeah.
If call it that.
Well, we actually brought the radio station is actually in the local mall, and Robin came by on Thanksgiving, and she said the parking lot was packed. You couldn't get in.
Yeah, you couldn't. They were parked on the grass.
That used to be Black Friday. Now it's Thanksgiving evening.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Is there anything super exciting that you personally like that you would like to see under your tree that people would love to have?
Because Robin's got. Oh, she just won the lottery.
I am fascinated. You can't tell by my comments earlier. I'm fascinated with the virtual reality console. So I'm an Xbox guy, but I kind of wish I had a PlayStation 4 with the full-on virtual.
Oh, me too. Me too. Adam is sitting here with us. Adam is actually a flight instructor. And Adam, I have a question for you. Do they actually use virtual reality to train pilots?
Oh, yeah. A big thing is the simulations. Even down here in Orlando, that's a big thing. And you can consider that virtual reality. And it's so lifelike that they're really expensive. Computer making the whole motion simulator. But that's where you get trained in the bigger aircraft, the 737s, the Airbuses, and all that.
I mean, I don't know that I would learn how to fly, but let me ask Tony, do they have, is Sony or one of them, Nintendo, are they selling, remember the flight simulator for the games? I never could.
Yeah, they do.
I crashed all the time. Do they have that? Do they have that as virtual reality?
They do, yeah, very, very much so, and it's completely lifelike, and it will become pervasive. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm seeming I'm rude here, but I wasn't looking at the clock. What's a good website to go to?
It's blog.rakutenmarketing.com if you want to learn more about the research we're finding across all of these retailers and some of the trends that we're seeing.
Okay, we'll make sure we put that link on the podcast of this interview. Tony Zito, thank you so much for being on with us today.
You bet. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
Services Secretary.
Meanwhile, the president-elect tweeting, "No one should be allowed to burn the American flag. If they do, there must be consequences, perhaps loss of citizenship or a year in jail." The Supreme Court deemed flag burning protected free speech.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. Investigators are looking into why an Ohio State student drove into pedestrians, got out, and stabbed people with a butcher knife.
They have already found a Facebook post that they believe he made a few minutes before his attack. One law enforcement source described it as a declaration against unfair treatment of Muslims and said it appeared to condemn U.S. military action in Muslim countries.
Fox's Garrett Tenney, a police officer, shot and killed Abdul Razak Eliar 10 of the 11 people hurt. 4 are still hospitalized. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Geico presents a voicemail from your friend, Electricity.
Hey, it's me, Electricity, so I'll keep this short. Get it? Never mind. Anyway, I just want to make sure you're not, still mad at me about that electrical fire in your kitchen. I mean, obviously you're not, but I'm just checking to make sure. It's no big deal if you are. It's not like you're asking me to pay for the damage. Right?
Electricity won't pay for an electrical fire. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency makes getting coverage a snap. Visit geico.com to see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
An important message from Medicare.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
I found a new plan with lower costs.
It's Medicare open enrollment. Have you compared plans yet? Who knows what you might find?
Check out your options at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
You never know unless you go.
Medicare open enrollment, October 15th through December 7th. Brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services.
When you go into Automax, Marion County's #1 pre-owned dealer for over 15 years, you won't take the new car depreciation because Automax saves you thousands on late model vehicles. Browse the inventory online at automaxocala.com. Then come down to see the great vehicles and upfront pricing in person. Compare up to 60 models inside the climate control showroom. So take your time. No high pressure, no gimmicks, no games. On the corner of 17th and Easy Street. Automax. Quality cars, outlet prices.
Sunrise Automotive, this is